With wildlife photography, you usually need a big lens. But with a special sensor, I can leave my camera for several hours or even days in the forest. So I put my squirrel friends to the test by setting up camera traps, and I'm hoping the squirrels can be trusted with my camera. Because I need these photos for my 2024 Red Squirrel calendar. Thank you MPB for sponsoring this video. Today I have come to the squirrel forest because I am restarting my camera trap project. I set up a shot a couple of weeks ago and I didn't get anything good, but I set up my camera at this rock again yesterday and I managed to get this photo of a baby squirrel sitting on the rock, and I'm excited that there's a baby squirrel in this forest. The plan is to set up 2 photos today. The squirrels are quite active, so hopefully I can set up 2. But the first shot is that there's this really nice mossy stone and I want the squirrels to sit on it. And then the second shot is a jumping photo. This is the mossy rock that I want the squirrels to sit on. I have a camera, flash, sensor and a tripod. Something I love about camera trapping is that you can basically create a studio outdoors. You control the lighting, you can control the composition, and it can allow you to be really creative. So there's the flash, and there is the camera and the sensor. I've just finished setting up and I have the flash about 2 meters from where the squirrels will be. Squirrels aren't bothered by flash anyway, but I like to have distance because I don't want to freak them out. I have seen a squirrel around, so it has been watching me set up, so hopefully it will be here quite soon. I am now in my office and I thought I would show you behind the scenes of designing the calendar, because taking the photos is one part, but designing, choosing the photos, editing them is a whole other part and is pretty important. This is my current calendar for 2023, and one thing I always love to do is edit the actual monthly pages. I like it to flow with the photo. This is August, and I like the background to flow and the colour scheme. Same applies for this photo, so this isn't actually from this photo, but it's from the same scene. I sometimes now even take extra photos that are out of focus just of a similar background, so I can prepare for the calendar. If I know I've got a really good photo that will fit the calendar, I take another photo that I will only use for this. So this is Adobe Lightroom. This is where I edit my photos, and what I do each year for the calendar is I create a collection. So this year it's green, and I basically mark all my photos that could fit for this calendar. Most of the photos in the calendar are new photos from that year, but sometimes I also use old photos. For example, we have to get some baby squirrels in the calendar, and I've only found 5-week-old baby squirrels once. I've currently got 50 photos in this collection. I only need 14 for a calendar, so a lot of these I won't use. I'm still taking photos, but I still edit most of them, so I know the final edit, and that will help me decide whether I want it in the calendar. This is one of the photos I'm almost certain will be in the calendar. It's Fika. I think it's just adorable. She's got snow on her face. She was almost swimming in the snow, and she would go under the snow and then just emerge, and I got the moment that she emerged and there's snow, the light is good, nice solid background, and I think I'm going to bring it into Photoshop and edit the month page. So the photo of Fika is probably going to be March. So I'm going to open March. Now I'm going to test some colour ideas. I'm now going to look for a background photo, and I have some photos of when Fika went back under the snow. So I can use this section as the background. There's some nice branches, so the colours will be similar. I think this is the March monthly page done. I will do that for every month, but I still need to choose photos, take photos, edit photos. There's still a lot to do. It's been a couple of hours and I'm going to check the camera trap. It's sunny now, so hopefully we got some squirrels in sunlight. I can see that they have been here. The food has disappeared, but I'm going to check the photos. My nose feels so spicy. So there were 900 photos. Presumably there's one in focus and a good photo. Is this wonky? I can't quite tell. The second photo I want to set up is a jumping squirrel in the forest. I tried to do this in the squirrel forest 2 years ago in the winter, and the squirrels were basically staying in the trees. They weren't coming to the ground, so I didn't get any photos. So we're going to set them up in the forest. I think it's going to look really nice. The landing perch needs to be closer this way, and this one can be more flexible, and then the camera can move around the perches.
Okay, so what if we install this one? And
I think that one's good there. Yeah.
Okay.
We've just finished setting up the jumping and landing perch, which is off screen. This is pretty much the shot I want to get. So I want the squirrel jumping from here and it will come like this. And I want the takeoff jump and the forest in the background. So I'm going to set up my camera and my sensor and the flash. We have a very eager squirrel. Camera trapping can often go wrong. Sometimes it's human error, or sometimes it can be external.
Why is it not working?
Water on the lens, a flash dies, the animal jumps onto the camera. But this jumping shot, I made lots of little mistakes. First it was settings, then it was the focus, and despite taking 5,000 photos, I'm still not happy, and I'm still trying to get this perfect photo. Camera trapping can become really expensive when you have multiple flashes, different lenses, different tripods, a second camera if it's not your main camera, and something I did at the start was invest in used equipment, and I'd like to thank MPB for sponsoring this video. MPB is the largest global platform to buy, sell and trade used equipment. I've bought my Canon 5D Mark IV, multiple lenses, teleconverters, my flash for camera trapping, all from MPB, and I love how simple and safe it is. You can easily go onto the website and get a quote for some equipment you might want to sell. If you're curious about how much you can get for some used equipment, or maybe you're interested in buying some used equipment, MPB is linked in the description. Recently, we've been eating lots and lots of wild mushrooms, and I've been learning how to identify mushrooms, and I'll share my foraging adventures in the next video. Look at this light. So nice! I've put food for the jumping squirrels, but I actually have another camera trap location. I know there are squirrels there. I've never seen one or heard one, but I know they're there. I have a mosquito. I can feel it. You ready? Did I get it? Great, good. So this is the river, and it's a beautiful location. I recently found it, or refound it, and I didn't realise how lush and vibrant the moss is. When I walk here, I try to avoid walking on the moss. It's a little bit ambitious to set up a camera trap here, just because it's quite far from the house, and I've never seen a squirrel here. I know there are some signs of them. It took me about 5 minutes to find this, but this is a sign of a squirrel. A mouse wouldn't make it so neat, they would eat like a very small section. I don't know how new this is. It could be that a red squirrel doesn't live here and just passes by, so it might take a while for a red squirrel to find this site. But a photo here would look so nice. I'm going to try. I came to the squirrel forest this morning to set up another camera trap because I'm missing one photo from my calendar, which is October. So I came here to look for warm colours, autumnal colours, maybe some mushrooms, and I found these amazing mushrooms. They remind me of the cordyceps fungus, and it was giving me total The Last of Us vibes. I started to set up my camera, and a squirrel I know quite well, Buddy, started to watch and investigate what I was doing. I set up my tripod and my flash, and the last thing I was going to do was set up the sensor, and Buddy just literally came about 30 centimeters in front of my lens, and I started taking photos with my hands and without the sensor. He was happy to come right up to me, and it was actually really good because he was caching, so he was stuffing his cheeks with food and then going off, leaving for 10, maybe 15 minutes to bury it into the ground. And that gave me a window to change settings, change my composition, and I couldn't do that if I was camera trapping, because when you're camera trapping, you sort of have everything locked, including the settings of your flash or your composition, so it allowed me to be quite flexible. Just behind me is this old shed, and it's really lovely. It is covered in lush moss and lichen, and just on the other side there's a hole in the wall, and I thought it'd be really cool to get a squirrel peeking out. There's also these lovely stones covered in moss, so I think I'm going to set up a camera trap and try to capture how nature has taken over this old shed. This is the tripod I use for camera trapping, and I've destroyed it so much. I had a camera trap in the snow, and the snow was really icy, and when I pulled the tripod out, the leg stayed in the snow, and it's probably still there. I can probably go and try and find the leg, but this tripod is so destroyed. It wasn't a very good tripod to begin with, but I've wrecked it now. I've now set up my flash and the sensor, and this is where I want the squirrel to be. The last thing I need to do is set up the camera, which I'm holding. I actually really like these shots, and when I was leaving the forest I found this perfect amanita mushroom, my absolute favourite mushroom. So I set up my camera the following morning, and I didn't compose it very well. I don't know why. I didn't like the photos I got, so the next day I managed this photo of Buddy, which I'm really pleased with, and he is Mr. October. So my calendar is now complete. I've finished taking the photos, designing the pages, I have the front cover, and the calendar is now available to pre-order on my website. It always feels so good to see the physical calendar because it's all my best work in one place, and it's so nice to have something tangible and actually see my photos printed. And then if the calendar gets shipped around the world and into people's homes, then that's amazing. So if you do pre-order, thank you so much. It does support my work and my photography. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.